Hi, I'm Kevin, and this is HFX by Bike, a channel all about getting around Halifax by bike. In today's video, I'll be showing off the painted bike lanes that run along the northern section of the Bedford Highway, which borders the Bedford Basin. As always, I'll be playing a game of +1 -2 along the way. Every time I run into something that makes my trip safer or more convenient, I'll add a point, and every time I run into something that makes it less safe or less convenient, I'll take away 2 points. You can keep track of how I think the ride is going by looking at the heads-up display in the bottom right-hand corner. I'm starting off by turning north onto the Bedford Highway from Kearney Lake Road. The lane picks up just past the intersection. There's a physical barrier to prevent out-of-control cars from flying into adjacent properties or into the harbor. Unfortunately, the bike lane is on the wrong side of it. There's transit service along the Bedford Highway, but this section doesn't have any sidewalks, so buses just pick up and drop off passengers from the bike lane. Like, if people in this area actually started using the bus or bikes to get around, how exactly would this work? The lane is now essentially merged with the surrounding parking lots. With there not being a curb or grade difference, cars are free to move across the lane at every single point rather than just at intersections. So the lane at this point is mostly hypothetical. If it weren't for this bike icon, I honestly wouldn't know I was still in a bike lane. There are a lot of businesses that have cropped up along the Bedford Highway, and they're all pretty accessible from the bike lanes. The turning lane onto Nelson's Landing Boulevard means there's no longer space for a bike lane, so they've added a path rather than just dumping the bikes into traffic. That's pretty thoughtful. This is again somewhat undercut by the fact that pedestrians don't have anywhere else they can go, so it just ends up getting blocked. The lane cuts out for about 200 meters between the intersections at Moir's Mill and Hammond's Plains Road. To this point, the lane ran continuously for a bit over 4 kilometers. This section of the Bedford Highway has developed sidewalk technology. Slip lanes like this one encourage drivers to mindlessly move through the bike lane. This is the furthest extent of the lane in this direction. It doesn't connect anything on this side. I'm just going to turn myself around here and we can do the inbound direction next. Now that there are sidewalks, transit now has to cut through the bike lane to reach them. This leads to bikes having to play leapfrog with buses. The lane cuts out again near the intersection with Hammond's Plains Road. It's the same issue as before, so I'm not going to take any more points off. This section ran for about 1.5 kilometers uninterrupted. The bike lane is full of silt and debris. This is how you get a flat tire. The lane is currently floating in the middle of a continuous asphalt surface. The traffic lanes, bike lane, and adjacent parking lot are all mixing right now. This is the end of the bike lane. They don't connect to anything on this end either. My ride along the Bedford Highway painted bike lanes took about 14 minutes in each direction. They work mostly as intended, with the major exception being the area surrounding Hammond's Plains Road, where they spontaneously pop out of existence. The single biggest issue with the bike lanes is, ironically, the lack of sidewalks or other pedestrian infrastructure. A lot of businesses and now even medium-density housing have started to pop up along the side of the road, but they all front either directly onto the road or to a parking lot that's not really separate from it. This gives the bike lanes an illusory quality. If cars can move across the lane in either direction at all times, then what does it even mean for there to be a bike lane here? Because there are no sidewalks, whenever pedestrians are present, they end up having to use the bike lane to move around. So instead of 2 full-width bike lanes, we end up getting 2 half-width multi-use paths. Overall, the Bedford Highway painted bike lanes enable access to a unique part of the city, but the generally haphazard design of everything in the area detracts from the safety and comfort of anyone outside of a car. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Be sure to hit the like button and to subscribe to the channel for more videos about getting around Halifax by bike. That's it for this one. As always, thanks for watching, and see you next time.